Okay. I think we are live. I think usually it takes a second though. I usually like to go check the YouTube and make sure it's happening. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's working. We're live.
Perfect.
Well, it's day one.
Day one. Yes, it's day one.
Day one.
We've started. We're here.
And I don't think, as of last night, we were talking, neither of us had decided what we were going to actually start with yet. But now we have, because we've started. You're frozen. Just a little frozen. But you'll come back. So I'll talk about what I'm starting with first, I guess. I started with the Randomize Your TBR, and I actually got the Bridgerton series. So I started with When He Was Wicked, which is the 6th book, which is good because I am obviously pretty deep into this series. So it's something I need to continue. I haven't read, I think the last one I read To Sir Philip with Love, maybe in like March, and I hated it. So then I stopped, but I've loved other ones in the series, so these are hit or miss for me. But so far, so good. I am 42 pages into this.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So what did you start with?
So, well, I am going back and forth between two. So I was supposed to finish this book before the readathon so I could get to the next book. But I'm in the middle of The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. And I'm like enjoying it a lot. So hopefully I can finish this to get to Air of Fire, which was originally on my TBR.
Right.
And then I'm also reading Neon Gods by Katie Robert. But I'll probably read Assassin's Blade for the sprints.
Right. The Assassin's Blade is honestly probably one of my favorites in the series. And it stresses me out that some people skip it. I
wasn't going to skip it. I wasn't going to skip it, but I didn't realize how much I would love it.
Well, yeah, because you were going to start Air of Fire, and I was like, no, you can't.
So now I'm like even more excited for Air of Fire because I started this.
There's definitely things in Air of Fire that make more sense if you have read that one.
Okay.
But I also put that series on pause, so I'm through Air of Fire, and I'm supposed to read Queen of Shadows this month, and I think I'm not, because I'm reading it with like my best friend from high school, and she's behind. So you'll probably catch up to us.
Okay.
But let's see who all is here. Yay! Hi, friends. Ruby's here, and Rylan. You guys should also let us know if you're reading sequel or just reading something not for this. You know, what challenges you're getting after, what books you're reading. We would love to know. We would love to know we're not in this alone.
Yes. Because you and I were talking about the governess game like an hour ago, and while I was running around my house, like getting ready, I put on the audiobook. And so I'm already 14% of the way through the audiobook. Yes.
Is it not very long?
It's very good so far.
Okay.
I guess not. I had it on 2x speed, and I pretty much read an hour of like the length.
Right.
So.
I just finished the Duchess deal yesterday, so I'm going to be reading them pretty sequentially.
That's good.
And I have to read, we were talking about it because I have to read the Duchess deal next because my library hold's going to expire.
Yes.
So, spoiler alert, that's what I'm reading next. Also, you're vlogging for this, right?
Yes. I started, have only 20 seconds of my vlog so far filmed.
Perfect. That's enough. That's a high. I am, but I'm going to do it in 3 parts, so they'll each be like 5 days long. But my first one's not going to be posted till the 11th. So they're going to be like a little late. So, oh well. All right. Ruby said she's not reading the sequel, but here to hang out. We're also here to hang out. A Court of Silver Flames.
Mine's sitting at the library waiting for me.
Did I add Honey Girl to my book of the month this month? I might have.
I hope you did. It was on my list.
Really,
I really liked it.
No, I didn't, because what I ended up doing, The Heart Principle by Helen Huang was a pick, and I haven't started that series, but I own the Kiss Quotient, so I actually got The Bride Test and The Heart Principle, so that's what it's called, right? I'll have all three now.
Yeah. Oh, they're so good.
So I didn't get Honey Girl. Have you read it?
I've read them. Yeah, I've read them all
Just
so
the first
far,
one?
except for the newest one.
Oh, you have?
I've read both.
Okay.
Nice.
From Blood and Ash, and hoping to start. I don't know what that acronym is.
I know. I'm trying to think.
What is that one? Nessa, if you could please spell it out for us.
I'm just going to be spending every moment trying to figure out what that is.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I listened to From Blood and Ash on audio, and I thought it was okay. But I've heard they get better.
Kingdom of Flesh and Fire.
About which one? Did you like it? I'm excited but nervous. Oh, A Court of Silver Flames. I'm trying to
I'm reading
up on. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I'm reading it. I'm reading it for this readathon too, and I was supposed to go get it from the library because it's something on the shelf. But that's tomorrow's plan.
I have. I'm trying to reread through Throne of Glass, and then I need to get to that series, and then I'm gonna start the Crescent City series. So I'm like, I feel like I've restarted with Sarah J. Maas. Like, I'm just gonna try to get through all of them. I was planning on doing one a month, but now I'm being put behind. Okay, but we are gonna sprint at 10 after for 30 minutes, so we'll just catch up here before we start. That's what that acronym is? The Kingdom of Flesh and Fire.
There, yeah.
Oh, duh.
I don't know why I was confused.
Okay, so there's a lot of Sarah J. Maas going on.
That's good. We love.
I'm basically reading. I could basically just call this historical romance readathon because that's probably all I'm gonna get to. Because the audiobook I started today as well was Through the Storm by Beverly Jenkins, and that's the series I'm gonna try to read, like the entire trilogy. So I'll be reading 3 historical romances there, this, and the Duchess Deal. Like, that's what I'm starting with. Essentially, I'm starting with 5 historical romances.
That's fine. We love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the mood for it. But also the book I read previous to all of this was also historical romance. So I'll be burnt out by the time I get there.
And then you'll get everything else you need to do on your TBR.
Right. We love historical romance too. I feel like Kayla was just saying that I got her into historical romance, but I also am new to historical romance. Like, I really just got into it in like the last year, so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I know what that series is.
I don't either.
I'm gonna look it up. See if I recognize the cover. I don't have Goodreads open. You guys, no lie. I look at Goodreads so much while I'm at work.
Usually I'm just like in there inputting what I need to do, and then sometimes I get lost and I just scroll to see what everybody else is doing. And then I'm there forever.
Oh, it's a 3rd in a series. So maybe I'd recognize the first one. I don't think I do. They look pretty though. And they're pretty highly rated. At least the first one is. Okay, I'm gonna catch up on these quick. I would begin with historical romance with the one that I recommended to Kayla, which was Never Seduce a Scot, or we all know, why can I not think of the book's name? My favorite, The Duke Who Did It by Courtney Milan.
The Duke. Yeah.
Like, those are probably my top two. Okay, but let's read. I didn't get anything ready, but I'm gonna get a banner set up. Okay. All right, 30 minutes rent. We're starting, a few seconds late here, but that's fine. All right, I'll see you back at 40. Good luck. Good starting. Okay. That's time.
Okay, how'd you do?
Good. I had to move upstairs because I was getting uncomfortable, like crouched. But I read 31 pages, which is pretty good.
Oh, that is pretty good.
How did you do?
Let's do some hard maths here. I think I only read 15. Yeah, I only read 15 pages, which is not bad.
I've been reading fast lately. I don't know if it's just like the mass market paperbacks that go fast for me or what, but how did everyone else do? I'm going to go back to some of these comments from before. Every book for this challenge is fantasy. I didn't purposely not do fantasy, but I do think that fantasy is harder to get through, and like Kayla said, they're usually longer. So, how much fantasy do you have on yours? Quite a bit.
Hold on, I have my handy dandy notebook. Because my memory is my memory is horrible. 1, 2, like 3 or 4, I think, and then I don't know about my randomized. There could be a lot more in there, so I at least have 3 or 4.
Right. I could have really gotten bad things with my randomized, so I'm not mad about this one. Yeah, I didn't. I looked it up. I still didn't recognize it, but I'll have to look into it. Like actually read the synopsis. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
18 pages. That's pretty good. I read those pretty slow. Are you reading it physically, like the hardcover, or an ebook? Because I feel like the hardcovers are huge. 16 pages. 18 pages. I did pretty good considering I moved around.
Yeah, really.
I mean,
but watch me switch. Like I'm reading kind of slow for this, but watch me switch to Neon Gods and read 40 pages. Just fly through it.
It's almost 800 pages, I think. In my mind, I just think that should count for 3 books.
Why did I add that to my TBR? Truly.
My happy place for pages is 350. I think a 400-page book is long.
Usually I'm reading books that are around 350. I would love to read a book that is 600 to 700 plus. The idea of that is fun, but I can't. Yes. If I don't finish a book within max a week, I feel like it's dragging.
That's how I am. If it's taking me a week, that feels long. I mean, not for the month that I didn't read anything, but usually I'm not participating in the readathon. I don't really read any series anyways. So I'm reading Her Body and Other Parties. Nice. Yeah, I know some people just don't read series. And since I don't read fantasy, I feel like a lot of people, some people consider this not a series because it's companion with romance like that. But definitely when I start a romance series, I have intentions of finishing usually. So I get that. I hope I'm missing things. It didn't feel like 800 pages, especially if you like the characters or read the audiobook like I did. The Court of Silver Flames didn't feel long. I get that. Some stuff doesn't.
I'm nervous. Is the toll long? I haven't looked at it physically.
Yeah, I'll pull it. One, Huck ate the cover of this, so. Yeah, the toll's 630-ish.
And it looks big. You holding it up?
I mean,
I'll get
it's
there
one
one
of the
day.
biggest things I've read recently. Not that this was super recent, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that felt like was long and felt long.
So the one that I can think of is now I'm blanking on the title. It's the second Dark Artifices book. It's like Lord of Shadows. I listened to that and it felt so long. And it was so long because it's a Cassandra Clare book. But the ending was like my favorite, but it just felt so long.
I'm looking up how long this book I'm thinking of is because it's probably not even actually that long, but it felt like the longest thing. Okay, I mean, it's decently long. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This says it's 559 pages, but that felt like the longest thing I've ever read in my life. I didn't like that book, though, but a lot of people do.
I was in a book club when I was like 16, and that was a book club pick that month, and I didn't read it.
I feel like
I
would not recommend that to 16-year-olds.
Well, I was the youngest one in. It was like a work thing, and so the age range went from like 50s to me.
Fair.
So
I also feel like to me, like ebooks, you're not holding it. So you just like keep going and it doesn't hurt as bad.
Yeah, unless it's 2 a.m. and your eyes are burning. That happened to me last night.
Honestly, I was getting tired. I was getting tired sitting in the bed. I was like uncomfortable and scared I have to move. I don't know if anyone was noticing. I was yawning like once a minute. It was time to move.
Baby.
I saw this. I saw that you were reading it. And I always am curious to see if people finish that for the first time. And then, like, you have to read the second one. I don't think you can just read the first book. Like, you have to read the first and second and then decide.
Yep, I agree.
But I've only ever read the first and second. I haven't continued.
I like the third one, though. It's not, in my opinion, it's not as good as the second one, but I really liked the third one.
So that's a series that I question. Can you skip A Court of Frost and Starlight? Or is that, like, necessary?
I honestly,
I guess for anyone who continued to A Court of Silver Flames, let me know if you think it's necessary.
Yeah. Because I read it, honestly now after...
Like it,
yeah.
But is it necessary?
Yeah. Because I honestly, right now, I don't remember what was in it. I remember reading it. I don't remember what was in it.
Okay, in 2 minutes, we'll sprint again from 50 to 20. Also, Chris did just pull up to the house, so hopefully the dog doesn't freak out. The house in the Cerulean Sea. I could have read that like 3 times over and been like, more, please.
I agree.
More, please. Wonder. Are you talking Wonder by R.J. Palacio? Is that the one you're talking about? I read that a long time ago, but I don't really remember. Can skip Frost and Starlight. Good to know. Sarah, I do think that you should at least read the second.
Yes, Sarah, please read the second one.
Even just like give it 200 pages. Probably. Do you think that's a good page amount?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you should follow through. Get to Valeris.
Yes.
And then decide.
Now my heart's like beating so fast. I love that book.
Like, it's honestly not my favorite thing, but I do like seeing people's like thoughts when they finish the first one versus when they finish the second.
Yeah.
It was fun, but not necessary. See, I'm getting all the good information here. Second one is the best one. All the ones now, though, are going to follow different characters, right? Like, it's not going to be Nessa and Cassian.
I feel like I read that somewhere.
Okay, whatever. It's going to be a hot minute till I get there, so. Okay, I should get a banner ready this time so that we're ready to go. What did I do? Okay. All right. That's the correct time frame. All right. Another 30 minutes. Hopefully I can beat 31 pages.
Okay.
That's time again.
I'm calling the police.
You're what?
Calling the police. This book is making me call the police.
Why?
So, a bunch of stuff just happened. And then Sam said some stuff, and then she was like, "You're an idiot." And then now some other stuff is happening after Sam said, "Yeah,
I mean, in a good way, right?
yes." I read 20
Do you know how many pages? 20 pages?
Yeah.
I read 41 pages.
Let's go! Let's get it.
I mean, it'll be satisfying to like finish something that fast right away.
Yeah. Charlie, you're standing here staring at me. Would you like to say hi?
Okay, I'm trying to find where I was on comments. Let us know how much you all read. I think this is where we were. In a slump because of it, so I don't know if I should put myself through it. I'm trying to fight my slump, but I mean, if it put you in a slump, don't immediately read the second, but soon. I was laughing so hard. Like, right when we started reading, he was literally screaming at the top of his lungs.
Perfect.
And Martine joined us. I mean, that's usually how my day goes, because I had to work all day.
Charlie, we are not barking in this house. I didn't mean to yell. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
He's like, we might be. Hello, hello.
Oh.
Have you ever read Before the Coffee Gets Cold? I don't think I've heard of that one. I'll look it up.
Sure.
Before the Coffee Gets
Charlie's now growling, and
I'm guessing it's this one.
when he does this, he has to go outside. So I'm hoping he'll stop growling so he can sprint so I can take him outside. Stop. This is, so in my unedited versions of my videos, this is what you hear. And then
Right.
And then it's me yelling at him.
Tough guy. I was just telling Martine because she just posted her bloopers. And I was like, I think it's so funny that, like, when she, like, flubs up words, she immediately just, like, kind of laughs at herself or whatever. Because I am one where, like, if I stumble over my words, then I'm just like, ah.
Yeah.
And, like, not, like, cute, like, haha, that was funny. I'm, like, pure frustration.
I'm like, I'm having a stroke. I apologize.
But I looked up this book, and I've never heard of it, but it has decent ratings, and it looks like it's translated. So maybe it's something I should consider if I'm ever looking for a translated book prompt, because she said it's good. I forget that you haven't read it yet. I get, like, when people have read ACOTAR first, I think that the expectations for Throne of Glass are a little off, because Throne of Glass is definitely YA.
Yeah.
And her other stuff is not.
I read the first Throne of Glass book when I was like 16, and then I never read any of them after that.
I read them as they came out.
Oh, okay.
I read Throne of Glass before Crown of Midnight was out.
Oh, so.
And I went to a Sarah J. Maas signing, and I think it was for ACOTAR. So I have all my copies up to Heir of Fire, and then in the Throne of Glass series, and then my ACOTAR book are signed.
Wow.
So I was like OG. Like, I was reading Throne of Glass before ACOTAR was out.
Yeah. Charlie, please stop. You're embarrassing.
Say hi.
Come here. He has to go to the bathroom so bad, I can tell. Come here.
50% of a graphic novel. Which graphic novel? I don't know that I like graphic novels. I DNF'd the Walking Dead series. I DNF'd Saga. I love Heartstopper, so I guess I do like graphic novels. 40 pages. See, historical romances just go fast.
You fly through them.
She read 40 pages too. Honestly distracted. I can relate. Okay, quick question, because I know that some people think that this meal is gross, but if you also grew up eating it, then you probably like it. But Chris is currently making me grilled cheese and tomato soup.
I had that the other day.
And I know, like, tomato soup to some people is like, ew, but I like it. You have to make it with milk. I think some people, if you make it with water, yuck. You do not start with me. You make tomato soup with water. Are you being serious?
I've never heard of it being made with milk.
Get out.
Well,
what? But I'm the same with hot chocolate. If you make the powdered hot chocolate packets with water and not milk, leave. Tomato soup's the same.
I have never thought to put it with milk. I don't make
Okay, well,
now I will.
Do it with milk. Reading that for her book club. Didn't read. I'm watching Gossip Girl instead. Are you watching like the original one? Because I haven't watched like the new one they're doing. Paper Girls. It's all right. Yeah, I don't know if that's one I would be interested in. You have read the first one?
The first one. I liked it enough, but I don't think not enough to continue probably.
Interesting. Yummy. Not Saga, but I'm beyond happy. Chris just yelled at the food zone. I thought that Saga like started really strong and got progressively worse. So I read up to the 5th and was just like, these are, in my opinion, getting worse. That sounds so good. I'm glad that nobody here was like, yuck, tomato soup.
Okay. This
strong feelings for the grilled cheese here. I love grilled cheese and tomato soup.
I can't eat a grilled cheese without tomato soup. Like I can't eat just a grilled cheese.
Oh, Chris, so I wanted this like a week ago. And Chris made the grilled cheese because tomato soup takes like no time to make. You just heat it up basically. And Chris had made grilled cheese and then he was like, there's no tomato soup.
Go to the
And
store.
I was like, but also I like grilled cheese made with Velveeta.
That's how my mom makes it.
So I literally was like, you're serving me bread and Velveeta and calling that a meal? I literally was like, nice try, bud.
No,
I ate it, but see, everyone, milk. It has to be. You lost me at tomatoes. So Nessa's the one. Nessa's the one who's like, no tomato soup.
When my mom gets home, I'm going to ask her about this milk thing because I've never heard anybody do that before.
But also, like, it's made with you know, you scoop the can out and you just fill the can with the amount of milk that the size of the can is. It makes my heart happy. Do you know what I used to ask for on my birthday? I want everybody to tell me, like, when their mom would be like, what do you want to eat for your birthday? And, like, make you a meal, what you would ask for. Because I would ask for, I have always called it chip beef on toast. A lot of people would call it shit on a shingle. Like biscuits and gravy, basically, with the chip beef.
Oh.
Some people call that different things. But that's, like, also the cheapest, easiest thing to ever make. I have headphones in, he can't hear you. Kayla said hi. Bye. Thank you. I've definitely pulled the, like, I don't need food. The baby needs food. Yeah. Like, you don't want to feed the baby.
And he's like, okay.
Right, fine. The OG Gossip Girl. I also don't have interest in the new one.
I don't either.
And reading what I care. You're reading a bunch of things. If I had to pay for it or wait for a library hold, I wouldn't have continued with Paper Girls. But they've been available through. I feel that.
Yeah.
I mean, free is free. Why do you cancel if I say that I think Heartstopper is overhyped? Yeah. Yeah, you will be canceled.
You'll be canceled.
I'm unsubscribing right now.
Sarah's numbers go down just drastically.
Like drastically, these 8 people that are here. I'll
call some people.
I just disagree. Like, to me, it's not even just like the relationship part of it. To me, it's just like the whole high school vibe. Like, just everything about it. But I'm a fan of Alice Oseman in general and just like how she writes teenagers, period. So she must know what I'm talking about. But nobody else told me what they would ask for on their birthday.
It really depends on the age that I am. Because, like, I've asked for chicken and dumplings. That's like our like go-to. It's like a family meal. I love chicken.
Yeah, I didn't really grow up getting that. Like, I don't know anyone who makes that good that I would ask for, but I know a lot of people like that. I still ask for chip beef on toast, like for Christmas when my mom asks, like, what does everyone want? I still ask for that.
Charlie, stop!
I like how realistic it feels when she doesn't shy away from the hard topics. Yeah, I feel like it's realistic about like how mean teenagers can be, how emotional teenagers can be. But to each their own.
Y'all are about to see me fist fight my dog.
I would ask for Chipotle. Yeah, I grew up poor in a small town, so we didn't.
Oh my gosh, I thought
eat out.
I was making dinner and I found these leftovers because we ate them yesterday. And I wanted to ask if anybody else does this or if it's just my mom and my mom having grown up poor. So my mom makes like, so it's pretty sure it's just canned diced tomatoes. And then she puts it in like a bowl and heats it up and then puts slices of bread in it and then like mixes it up so the bread like pulls apart. And then I don't know, she can't put cinnamon in it. But yesterday I felt like it was like cinnamon. But she just calls it tomatoes and bread. And she makes it and it's like pork chops and like cube steak and
I mean, personally, that would have been a night I went to bed hungry, but
it's not bad.
I was just talking to my mom about a few things that she tried to serve me as a kid that I was like you know, like just make a casserole out of anything that was whatever we had in the fridge or cupboard. And be like, guess this is what we're eating. And I was talking to her about how there was like a couple times she served me something and I was like straight up scared. Like, no, I can't eat it. It's fine. What time is it where? I think we're both in the same time zone at 6:30 p.m. Okay, we should read again at 35. Personally, I'm going to eat my grilled cheese at least and then try to read some more. And then are you guys feeling, should this be the last one? Are we feeling sticking around for another? Whatever anyone else is feeling. I'm up for 2 more at most, though, because I go to bed at 8.
You're like, I'm going to get it.
Mabel says bedtime's 8, and I listen.
Yep.
It's 7:30. 2 tomatoes with bread is a thing. I don't like tomatoes, though. Like, even as an adult, I still don't.
I'm like, it depends on what it's for. What it's in.
I, like, won't ask for stuff without it, but I wouldn't. I say if I'm eating tomato soup, but, like, if a burger came with it on it, I would just eat it. I wouldn't necessarily take it off, but I would never, like, choose to eat it, I guess.
Yeah.
Down for 2 more. We'll see how it goes. Aren't you eating tomatoes?
Martine's like trying to catch
me. Yeah, I am. Okay. But the funny thing also is, like, my sister has always hated ketchup. Like, my sister will gag at ketchup, but she loves tomatoes. So I feel like it is different. Tomato soup ketchup is different than like tomatoes. I caught myself before you could catch me. No one can roast me like I can roast myself.
Same.
Trying to think of other things that I are like foods I grew up with that my mom makes a baked potato soup.
I love potatoes.
Yeah. Like that's what when my sister went into labor, because at the time it was COVID, so my mom couldn't be there. Like she could just have her husband. And so we said that when she went into labor, I was going to go over to my mom's house and we were going to make her potato soup so that when she came home, she had potato soup. But it sounds like as of now that my mom will be able to like be in the delivery room with me. Like it would be my mom and Chris. And I'm like, but I need potato soup when I get home still.
So she's either gonna have to pre-make it or
Right.
hustle when you're getting out.
Right. I mean, I didn't say this, but I'm hoping that the baby comes before Christmas.
That would be so cute.
But if it's Christmas Day, I'm gonna be mad. Just so everybody knows.
Oh, I would be furious. Furious.
Not that I mean, I feel like everyone, if you want a healthy baby whenever they come, but I'm just saying. Okay, and I'm starting this late already, so we're gonna read from 36 till math 05.
Stop.
But I have to make a banner.
Okay. And I'm gonna go take
Okay.
care of him so he doesn't.
Okay. Off we go. I did not make it.
This is fine.
That's time. I don't know how many pages I read, but I had to Google a disease. Okay, I'm informed now.
I
I read 20.
at least. I don't really know.
Are you on the second to last one?
I was, and I just started the last story.
I read 21 pages
Ooh,
and ate my food.
yummy.
Sorry, this chair like squeaks. I try not to let it, but
I took Charlie,
oh,
and then
yeah.
I came in, and then I was reading, and then my mom came in, and the dog started barking, and I hope someone saw it, but I like jumped out of my seat.
I wasn't paying attention. Martine finished Paper Girls and then read Life as We Know It. I have to look that one up too. I do feel like I know what that is. Oh, maybe I don't. I don't recognize that cover.
Is that the one? Does it have a moon on the cover?
Yeah.
So
if it's that one.
So
I mean, it's classified as dystopian, which I'm definitely into.
Let me make sure it's this book, because I have a story on this book. Yep. So the story on this book is in 8th grade. We were supposed to read this as a class book. I had pre-AP English 8th period, so I had the last class. The kids in first period with that teacher, they started reading the book. They got to the first page, read the first page. Someone in the classroom laughed out loud because the word sex, I think, is on the first page. And so she was like, okay, we're not reading this book. And so when we got to our class, she was like, the first class ruined it, so we're not reading this book.
I mean, that's how it goes at that age, but
I've never
I feel like I've talked about this on a live before, but I transferred schools. Like, I started at a new school my junior year of high school because my mom got remarried. So where I grew up, like where my dad lives still now, my freshman year of high school, we read Of Mice and Men for my English class. And that's also like a journalism high school. So my sophomore year, instead of taking English, I took a journalism class. But we also read Of Mice and Men for that. So I read it 2 years in a row. Okay. Then I transferred schools. And my junior year, we read Of Mice and Men. So literally the only book I read in school was Of Mice and Men.
That's fine.
I mean, I've read other books in school, but like that one was, I know it. I know where I started, 151. I don't remember, are you reading from Blood and Ash? Or the other one? I don't know, that was hours ago. Yes, it is that book, Martine said. I read the first book when I was really young. Like, is it middle? No, it was young adult. I think I just saw. I'm like in a dystopian mood. Like rereading the Legend trilogy has me like, yes. Like I kind of want to reread The Hunger Games. Kind of want to reread Divergent. Kind of want to like find new ones. I fell asleep listening. I've never read the rest of the series. Also The Giver. Have you read that?
I have.
So I, at one point, because it's technically like a quartet, like there's a series, but they're not all really connected. I at one point read like all 4 of them, and it's not worth it.
I wouldn't.
The Giver can stand by itself.
I've never thought to continue to read them. I think again in 8th grade they tried to make us read the second one, and I was not into it. And I don't think
I bought a really pretty box set, and now still like got rid of the other 3 and still just have The Giver from that box set.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I love The Giver, but the rest of them are not. I've only read the first and fourth from the Giver Quartet. Interesting, because I do think that the second one actually does like follow the first one. Gathering Blue, I think that one's called.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what the last two even are. I do know that I never, once I did my randomized to get when he was wicked, went back and looked at the prompts to see if that book would fulfill other prompts also. So I'm going to do that.
I was making a list of like if the book fit multiple prompts, and then now I'm like I feel like I have to rearrange
Oh, right.
everything because a lot
I mean,
of this,
both of our TBRs have changed.
yeah.
I don't think it really fits anything else. Well, maybe it could fit a sequel to a book I gave 5 stars. Did I give any of the books in this series 5 stars? We're about to find out. Okay, this is me just being creepy, but our neighbors across the street have like the cutest 2-year-old little boy. And I'm also slightly suspicious that she's also pregnant right now, but we'll find out in due time. We don't talk to them that much, like it's a younger couple, but they're like a cute little family. Doesn't look like I've given any of these 5 stars. Great. So it's only going to count for my randomized.
That's fine.
That's fine. Because it's not a second book. It's not a final book. Not pubbed in 2021. I read Gathering Blue, but I don't know what number that was. But I did like it. I think that's the second one.
I think so too.
Or maybe I just like some of the imagery. I remember that. I didn't get it a lot. Actually, The Giver was something I originally read in school. I read it in 8th grade, and I'm not going to like call out who this person is, but if you're friends with me on Goodreads, the teacher that I had for that book often comments on my Goodreads stuff. I'm friends with like 3 or 4 of my previous teachers on there. And I'm friends with them on Facebook, which I think is funny.
I'm friends with a lot of teachers I have on Facebook.
I was a bad student too, so I think like some of those teachers are like, wait, this is the girl that's reading like 100 books a year.
And I was
wow.
So if my teachers see me on Facebook like shit posting, they're like, she said 0 words in the classroom. What is this?
I mean, I wouldn't honestly consider myself like introverted. I think I'm louder in person than people would think. I mean, you can probably pick up on it. I don't think in videos it shows as well, but like live shows, I just get really excited. And one of my biggest insecurities is, and it's like a habit I try to break, but I know that I like get excited and I interrupt people and talk over people, and I hate that I do it. But it's like I
kind of did the same
it happens.
I do the same thing. But see, I have a problem. Like a lot of my family is way more extroverted than I am. So like growing up, I learned to be silent. So people are always like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, because I
They
know.
can talk. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like I'll have a conversation with anybody, but I'm not like I don't need like social interaction to like I could stay at home for months and not feel like I need to talk to anybody. But I also know that I'm someone who like I will talk to fill silence. Like I don't want anybody else to feel awkward, so I'll just talk about whatever so that nobody else has to feel awkward, because I'll just make an ass of myself so that you don't have to feel stupid. No, I'm that person. Sometimes, like, if I'm with someone and I feel like they're getting embarrassed or like flustered by something, I'll just do something twice as embarrassing so that it can be on me.
I love that. I mean, no, I don't love that because that you're embarrassing yourself, but I love the idea behind it.
Right. I think that comes to like I'm a fairly confident person. Chris and I have talked about this, that like our children will not have body issues because we're both like we're average looking, average sized people. Like neither of us are like oh so hot, but we are definitely like, oh, I look so good. Like nothing's wrong with me. Look good all the time.
I love that. I wish I was like that. I'm mean to myself.
I mean, you just start doing it and then you convince yourself.
see. I'll work on it.
All right, are we going to go for one more and then call it a night? I mean, this is a good start to the challenge. For me, I think it was at least.
Yeah, I got pretty far, I think, so far.
You're almost done with that, it looks like. If you're on the last one, too. Like I said, though, if I remember right, they kind of get longer as they go.
Yeah, I just checked, and this last one is like a little bit over 100 pages. And then I got to the last one, and then I realized, I guess I forgot everything that happened in Throne of Glass. But now I'm like trying to figure out how, if this talks about how she gets where she starts in the first book, if I remember correctly.
I think that last one, I don't remember exactly either, but I think that last one might talk more about like how she actually ends up in Dovier, or however you pronounce that. I don't remember, but I do think like a lot of people complain about Throne of Glass that it's like she is said to like, she was an assassin, trust me, she's really badass, she's done all these things, she's this, she's that, and people are like, that's a lot, like you're told this, but it's not, you're not shown it. And I'm like, read the Assassin's Life.
Yeah.
So I feel like that does a lot of showing that she also is like, even though she's been under like rulers, like people have been in charge of her with like Arabin and then the competition in Throne of Glass or whatever, that she has always like kind of had moments where she's defied and like made her own decisions and known that she could get in trouble for such things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just think it really builds her as a character, for me at least. It's 5:15 for me, so I'm logging off to make dinner, but good luck.
Okay.
That is dinner time. Hi, Ruby. Thanks for joining us. Did you eat? Did you have your chicken strips?
So at one point I turned my camera off and I ate some of it, and then I came back and I read. And then when I just went to take the dogs out, while I still had my camera on, I ate some more.
You remembered? Okay.
And then so now I still have just a little bit left. So maybe if I log off of this, or I like turn the camera off, I'll finish my dinner.
Eat one more, right?
That I've been eating for 2 hours.
I went downstairs when I was done eating, and so like Chris and I have never been like really drinkers. Like we just never started, I don't know, we don't really drink. So we have always like, when most people would have like wine with a meal or champagne, like to celebrate something, like we don't do that. And what we always buy is the glass bottle, like full cane sugar, orange cream sodas. And so I went downstairs and he was drinking one. I was like, did you buy some of those?
And he's like,
I'm definitely gonna have one of those tomorrow.
And he's like hiding them somewhere. No, I
Oh, yeah, right. They're probably like shoved in the fruit drawer because he knows I'm not going to open it. Okay, so we'll go from 20 to 50, and then I guess we'll be done by the hour.
Oh, perfect.
This was fun. And then, yeah, we're definitely going to go live again. I guess we didn't ever decide today. We talked about it. Yeah. Probably sometime this weekend.
Yes. If you got a preferred time. And
yeah, let us know. If Saturday or Sunday works better for you, if morning, afternoon, evening works better for you, keep us posted. And also keep an eye out on, I think we're both mostly active on Twitter and Instagram. Mm-hmm. Keep an eye on those things for updates, whatever. I was thinking if we do this again, I may create a Discord next time, but this was so last minute and we're just here for a good time this time. I think, and this is really the first, sorry, I have like the burps from eating.
Okay.
The first time I've like really hosted a thing. So this is a good starter for us.
Yeah, we're trying things out. We're doing some tests.
Right. I'm just trying my best. I just feel like the book club is hosting something, but it's a little bit different of a format and like what's expected than this is.
Which I have to say, I'm very excited for this month's book club pick. I haven't started it.
I am too.
But I'm very excited. Thanks,
Vanessa. Right. That's like what I'm reading. As soon as the challenge is over, that's the first thing I'm reading.
Mm-hmm, me too.
It's going to be good times. Okay. Let's read. I have to get my banners up again. Find the right one. Okay. See you in 30.
Okay.
That's it. We did it.
We did it. I read like 28.
I got to like halfway. I can't hear you. 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think I disconnected my headphones. I think that they're 1 minute.
Better?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I just disconnected my headphones, so hopefully they're not. Hopefully there's no echo. Martine said she read 11%. Yes, I needed this today too. I got like halfway through my book.
That's pretty good. I did a lot because I
You're
was
close.
like,
You're close. I'm hoping to finish this tomorrow as well as my audiobook, so that's the goal.
I'll probably finish this tonight because you're going to sleep, but will stay up forever.
I mean, it's 9 and 8, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll probably finish this tonight, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Right. I'm just excited to get, like, I want to get as many prompts done before I lose steam.
Yes. I think like, the first week is just gonna be me like digging through everything.
I got this. Here I come. Right.
And the second week is gonna be like in the vlog, I slept all day and didn't read.
Right. I do think that I'm going to be burnt out on the historicals by the time I get through what I need to first. I guess I forgot. I do have Fallen by Kieran Slaughter, which isn't a romance.
Ooh.
Like I said, Every Heart a Doorway. And then like Heartstopper, I feel like is at least a different vibe, pace.
Yeah.
Graphic novel. So I do have more options than I thought. And I mean, like, First Comes Like is not historical, but it's still a romance. That one I need to read because it's a final book in a series. So if I can finish some series.
Yeah. I need to just not start more.
That's where I'm at.
I'm like trying to
like I'm literally like cut off. No starting series. Unless it's like for something. I feel like I've participated in a lot of book clubs and stuff that it's like first book in a series and then I don't continue and that's where I get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
But then like series like this where this is, I think it's 8 books long. That's so long. That's so many books.
Yeah.
A trilogy I can handle.
Yeah. I think my like easy handling is 4 books. But anything more than 4, it's hit or miss.
I just can't binge something like that. Like it's gonna take me a year to read a series that's that long. Where like a trilogy, I feel like I can read 1 a month and be done in 3 months and then it's over with.
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy just stresses me out too because that is when I start like this I've been away from forever. It's like you don't really need to like completely remember the other books. Like fantasy, then I don't continue. Then it's like I need to reread the other ones to even get to it. Like I don't remember what happened. I don't remember the magic. I don't remember who's who.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard.
I'm reading this, and I reread Throne of Glass in October, like end of October, and I read Crown of Midnight for the first time in October. And I only remember the end of Crown of Midnight at this point. So I'm like, I can't reread the first 2 to get to Air of Fire, so I'm just gonna go
No. Yeah. But I feel that. Like, that's what happens to me.
in.
Like, I'm even nervous about restarting Wayward Children with Every Heart a Doorway because that's something, like, I need to just get through them. They're tiny.
Yeah. That's on my randomized, but technically I'm on book 3. But if I get it for my randomized, I'm gonna have to reread them.
I should pull up because you asked me, because I said, like, there's some that I put on my randomized that I straight up do not want to get.
Oh, let me look at mine too.
And so I got fairly lucky, I think. Like, this wasn't top of my list, but I'm absolutely not mad about this one.
I like kind of need to cross off like 3 of them that I wrote down on my list for the randomization, because like 3 of them I just realized I haven't started the first book. So why do I have them on this list?
So I wouldn't have wanted to read the next one in the what is this called? It's a Hades and Persephone retelling. Current, A Touch of Darkness. Is that what the first one is called?
Ooh.
Didn't want to land on that because I didn't want to read the other one. Really didn't want to land on From Blood and Ash, even though everyone else is reading it. I just didn't want to read the next one. Like I said, I'm kind of at a standstill with Immortals After Dark. What else would I not have wanted? I, at one point, started the In the Company of Killer series, if you know what that is. The first one is Killing Sarai by J.A. Redmersky.
Ooh, I don't know that.
And I have put that off for too long. That's one I would have to restart. It's like a decently long series. Didn't want to land on that. Those are like the ones I didn't want to land on. Oh, and ACOTAR I didn't really want to land on because I'm already in the middle of rereading Throne of Glass. Like, I'd like to stick to one at a time. But
Yeah.
so I could have had way worse things.
I think the only thing on my list that I really do not want to read right now is I have Shatter Me on my list, and I read the first one like
forever ago. I didn't write that book.
See, I liked it when I read it, but I feel like it's been so long and I've grown up that if I read it
Did
now,
she just release another one? Like, isn't she doing another one now?
Yep. It was a trilogy, and
then it was 5.
And now it's 6.
I don't know. I'm not interested, so.
I just want to finish the 3 that I own and then never talk about it again.
Like, I think that's fair, because I think, like, something that was originally published that way as, like, that's my thing with the new Hunger Games thing, too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this was published as just a trilogy for 10 years. Like, you can read just the 3 and be done. Someone just said they might read it. Who said? I want to say Nessa, but I don't think it was Nessa. Maybe it was. Saying she was going to read the series.
Yeah.
Like, all 4. And I was like, I didn't read the new one, but don't.
I only read the first one, and I had to read it for school.
They're good.
I think, like, sophomore year in high school, me was
I think the Hunger Games is good.
I was trying to be like, everybody likes it. I don't want to like it.
So I read the Divergent series as that was coming out also. And I still remember, because I was, like, in the BookTube community at that point. I had a BookTube channel, like, probably 10 years ago. For, like, 6 months, maybe. And then I left, but I've, like, always watched BookTube.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember... Have you read the Divergent
I've read
series?
the first one. But I know what happens at the end of the last
Okay,
one.
I don't want to say too much. But I remember when, like, I read Allegiant on release day. And I remember just the havoc around that book. Pure and utter. I remember Whitney from Witty Novels. You know who I'm talking about?
The love of my life. I love
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was her. Had a vlog, just like super long vlog of her just like crying.
I probably watched it.
Like, that is to me like iconic book release.
Yeah.
But I feel like people now, like, that series is irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, well, we should wrap this up because it's bedtime. So I'm going to end the broadcast. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. And we'll see you soon.